I asked a few questions earlier, and I'll try to see that we have them answered in the time that we're going to share together. Why do we need mega structures, or what was the purpose for the building of mega structures in the first place? You know, the church consistently comes under attack and scrutiny, and people are asking, do we have poor people in church? Why do we need these big structures? You see, you need to understand that any kingdom that is going to have influence in the earth understands that it has to educate its agents in the earth. And so we need to understand the reason why people began to gather as the church, because in the early days, they gathered in houses. However, the church grew, right? Glory to God, the church grew. In one day, you have 3,000 people added to the church. As the church began to grow, it became practically impossible for the church to stay within four walls of one's living room. The church grew and outgrew living rooms and people's bedrooms and small spaces. And then there was that need for us to begin to build bigger structures. The Bible even encourages us not to neglect the gathering of the brethren. There is something that happens when believers come together physically in one space. However, there are other realities. But we must understand the importance of the brethren coming together in one space, right? And so there was the need for brethren to come. There is the need for brethren to come together in one space, because when we come together, there are energies we release and we communicate with one another. There are things that are made available in that space, and so there is upload and download happening. So the church in the early days came together, and as the church grew, it became important that bigger structures were built. Why? Because those structures now served as the place where the body came together, and kingdom education went on. So the mega structures, they are actually centers, kingdom education centers, where people go to and they are edified and they are built and they are taught, right? It is important that we note that. So if we even want to look back to the Old Testament, you see that God is in the business of inspiring his people to build. We can start with Noah. Noah built the ark. The ark contained as many as believed. If everyone believed, then there would have been a need for a structure that could contain as many as believed. So you see, God is in the business of getting us to build structures. It is important that we note that. However, I know we Kingdom Apostolic building for this time, we have come to have to need to lay emphasis on the building of other structures. But it is still important that we have these physical structures. Noah built the ark. Moses built the tabernacle. Solomon built the temple, right? So you see, God is in the business of getting his people to build physical structures. However, as the times and the seasons shift, it is important that we begin to build other structures.